You are now watching Boss Lady News, highlighting businesses, nonprofits, events, talent. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Miss Britt Johnson.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Boss Lady News. I'm so excited to have you here with us again. We've got an amazing show for you as usual with some amazing New Englanders. I'm so excited to be bringing this show. We've got Cuban Mike as usual. He's about to come out. But we also have Miss Hot Sauce. Yes, the first black female to own an online radio. I'm so excited about that. Spark FM. You guys make sure that you're aware and abreast of what's going on in your community. Charles from Scat TV is here with us. Yes, we have a Somerville producer in the Boston building. I'm so excited to have him here. We also have Miss Tania Anderson. You guys know I've been highlighting this, and I'm so excited about the show. And you got to save the date because the show's coming up again. Yes, that's the Blood and Fashion being held over at the Strand Theater. Later on, we're also going to get fit, so you guys get your water ready now with OJ Fit. He's been on the shows, he's doing his thing, he's out in the community, and now he's going to be showing us a few things that we can do on an everyday basis just to bring that exercise into our lives, right? So, for no further ado, as we usually do, let's go ahead and bring Cuban Mike on out with our trending topics.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
have a seat.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, I saw an interesting post where it said January has been like 5 months long. It felt like we were never going to get into February.
Yeah.
What's going on in the world today?
Well, first of all, how you doing today, girl?
I'm doing good. I'm
Yeah.
doing good. I'm excited to hear what you got to say, though.
Well, first and foremost, I'm happy. I'm happy to be alive because, of course, everybody knows the news, the unfortunate tragic accident that took the life of Kobe Bryant and his daughter,
Right.
and 7 other of his friends. I want to focus a few on this because this really hit different. And you know, it's funny because I do the celebrity news thing, but I don't get invested like that.
Right, the energy.
And when the table drops, it's just unbelievable because, you know, we still got to keep the show going.
You know, that's the energy.
Yes,
That's
we
the
got to keep
energy
going.
that's in the
That's
room.
it. Hey, man, I'm telling you,
In
just be happy to be
reference to
alive.
it,
Just
yeah.
happy to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it hit different because, like I said, I do a celebrity thing, but I don't get invested like that. So I think the last time a celebrity passed away and it hit was probably Michael Jackson. So when this happened, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't even like the biggest Kobe fan because he's from the Lakers and Boston, the rivalry and the whole thing or whatever. But I did
Right.
like watching him play because he was just like so damn good, and I
Very
know what to
talented.
expect. So of course I was online. You know, it started coming around. Then somebody said, all right, TMZ said it. So if TMZ said it, it's a 95% chance that it was true.
Right.
I go to TMZ, it confirmed it, but then like they took it off, they put it again, so I left it alone. I go to the radio station, the sports radio station, and as soon as they said breaking news, I
You
already
knew it
knew.
was true.
You knew. And then something weird happened. My mom called me. And when my mom called me, she already knew what it was already. She's like, yeah, I saw the news. And there's like a hangout spot that she goes to. So when the news came out, it's like the music stopped. They automatically put it in radio. And everybody started crying. They got emotional. She even got a little bit teary-eyed. But something weird happened. She got on mommy mode. She got on mommy mode. So when she called me, I was driving. So she said, okay, stop talking to me. Just put your seatbelt on, get home, and when you get home, just call me to find out you're okay.
Yeah,
I'm
the
gonna call your brother.
emotions.
Yeah, and my brother is in LA. He lives in LA, so he called me. So he was telling me, oh, LA is like silent at the moment.
Yeah.
And I was going online, and I see a bunch of my guy friends who have daughters, because of course, it was him and his daughter that ended up being, tragically took it away from us.
Right.
And it's this weird thing. They started thinking about their own mortality. And their whole thing of being a father and being a man, their whole job is to like protect and provide for their family. But how can you protect this? You can't stop it.
Right.
So it got real shaking for them. And it's like, it's like one of those things people was thinking that like, just to like live life and just try to celebrate it and, just try to do the best you can as a father.
Absolutely.
And protect your daughter.
Right.
So it really hit
Protect
different.
your children.
Yeah, man. And just celebrate life. You can't control the inevitable. But, Kobe Bryant, 5-time championship. MVP, 2-time gold medalist, 4th-time leading scorer of all time. Rest in peace.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
there's something in reference to the whole tragedy. Well, 2 things in reference to the whole tragedy that I wanted to touch base on. Number one, I think it's horrific that the news got to the family through TMZ.
Yeah.
Because we all know that TMZ is known for having the story first.
Yeah.
And I feel like in some situations we really need to consider the people that we're affecting
Yes.
when we are sharing this news. And I think it was horrific that instead of TMZ connecting with the management, connecting with family to say that we have this story before running it, that they just ran with it. And I think it's even worse that people are trying to trend the last posts of, the last moments of, the last anything
helicopter
of,
ride or
because
whatever.
there's a family. There are 9 individuals whose family is directly affected by this, and they have to live with it every day. It's
Yes.
not a trending topic.
Yeah.
And then I also wanted to recognize the families, the other families that did pass away. Rest in peace to them, as well as condolences to their families. And people were like, no one's paying attention to the other members that had passed away. And I want to say that it's not that no one was paying attention to them. It's that, you know, a young black man making it to the level that Kobe Bryant made it is in itself an amazing opportunity that so many young black men will never get an opportunity to make. That's why there was so much focus and attention on Kobe Bryant, not just because he was a basketball celebrity, but because what are the chances that a young black man is going to be able to make it out of the neighborhood that is potentially infested with violence and or tragedy and mental illnesses and make it to the statue that he did?
Yes, and to piggyback on that, it's funny because, like, you know, we've seen him grow up between our eyes. You know, he was 20 years in the league and he was drafted when he was like 17. So we've seen him grow. And the good thing, the thing that I keep seeing about him, he was a great guy because he wasn't perfect. He was flawed.
Right.
Like I said, I wasn't a fan of him, so he had this like little annoying arrogance that I didn't like, but he backed it up.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You got the history, you know, with the flaw with the relationship he had with Shaq. I know people don't want to talk about Colorado, but unfortunately, that's part of his history.
Right.
But even when you saw him to go through all that, and even with his wife, the infidelity, you know, the fact that she threatened to like divorce him, all that stuff, they fought till that marriage. They fought that marriage,
and they stayed together.
and then after the retirement, you see, like, you know, the second go around, he just became a family man, you know, a
Right.
father. He won an Oscar for crying out loud. So, you know, he was going to that second transition.
An amazing public figure, for
Yeah,
sure.
You saw it.
So, you know, once again, to all the families, a generation that was affected,
Yes.
all of the fans,
Yes.
all of his friends and other athletes that are tragically also distraught by the news, our deepest condolences to you and your families. We are going to take a brief PSA, and we'll be having our next guest on. You guys, please don't go anywhere. You're watching Boss Lady News. Lady News, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to remind you, get your water ready because OJ Fit's going to be doing a 10-minute fitness with us. But let's go ahead and clap our next guest out. This is Charles, and he's here, one of the producers from SCAT TV. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Give me a hug. I'm so glad to have
Thank
you
you.
on.
Thank you
Please
for
have a
having me.
seat.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm appreciative that you got an opportunity to come and be on my set because as a producer, I know finding guests and producing your show and finding assistants and help and staff and all that is just an everyday thing.
Yes,
So
yes.
I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And you are also a New England producer. You are international, and you're here. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, are you originally from Massachusetts?
Born and raised.
Okay.
Born and raised in Boston.
Okay.
And, you know, I always say that Boston is the best city to be in, no matter what it is. New York, LA, tragic, sorry, you know, but Boston just has that energy, you know, and if you're from Boston and you're born and raised in Boston, then you know Bostonians.
Right.
You know, they call us massholes and we're not the best people, right? But when we're together and when we're doing things, it's electrifying.
For sure.
You know, so I anything for Boston.
Not only are you creatively producing and coming up with ideas for different shows, but you're also a host. And, you know, I think it's important that people recognize that, especially the young people out there, that people that look like them are creating amazing content for TV. So, I mean, did you ever think that you'd be in this environment of being in front of the cameras, behind the cameras?
I used to sit in the mirror and just go, good morning, right? I was born for this. I mean, I love it. I mean, I'm not it's funny, I'm not a people's person. So if you see me on the outside, I'm like this. You know, I'll say good morning.
Introverted.
Yeah, but I feel that, you know, being out there and with my personality that I grew up with, and the neighborhood that I grew up in, and all these elements that created me, I want to bring it out there to the TV. I want to bring it out to the world because we need to know.
Right.
You know, there's so many negativities, there's so many other challenges that we have as Black people, you know, for you to see a smile on my face and to see it on TV, right? We're on TV.
Right.
For a young Black child to grow up and turn on the TV and see someone else of his own color or his or her own color smiling and enjoying themselves,
Right.
man, that's opportunity.
And you know, it's interesting that you were pointing out the fact that the smile, because I used to walk down the street and, you know, guys, I don't know if they were trying to hit on me or what, but they'd be like, smile. Because
I got the opposite, by the way.
it's so odd that, I believe you, because you've got this amazing smile. But it's so odd that we're used to not seeing each other happy. We're so used to not seeing each other smile.
Yeah.
We're so used to tragedy and struggle that something as simple as seeing a happy person on television can change the energy of a young person.
Waking up and seeing a person of their own making it. You know, the whole world is about crabbing the barrels and I'm going to get mine and you know all the words, but that smile means everything.
It does.
That positive energy means everything.
It does.
And I believe that fully. That's why I do what I do.
That's why you do what you do. Tell us a little bit about, more in depth, you know, you within this industry, you being a producer, you being a host. Tell us a little bit about your shows.
Right now, I'm on Scat TV, and big ups to Yvette Wilkes, you know, because she is the person who is the producer of the show, you know, and funny story. She said, hey, you know, because my fiance, she's like, I want you to meet this amazing person, and we're gonna put you on this show, and I want you to be a guest. And for years, because it was years in the making, for years I was like, okay, when it happens, it happens. And it never seemed to happen. And then one day it actually happened. And so she said, well, I want you to, bring some people. So, Supreme Entertainment's Supreme Richardson and my uncle Leonard Lee, I said, listen, I want you guys to be on my first show, right? But I didn't know I was the host, as the kicker, right? I didn't know that I was doing anything. I thought I was gonna just go on there and be a part of the show. Right? So when I got there and I looked at the stage, I'm like,
what's going on?
why is there 2 chairs here and 1 chair here? I said, well, we should put the 3 chairs together so we can, be in the same photo. And they said, no, you're the host. And I'm looking around like, what? And this is like 30 seconds before
Here's
we
the water, go swim.
Right? And I'm sitting, I said, you gotta be kidding me, right? So now my heart stopped pumping, there's like 15 seconds, and then they stopped miking me up. I had no clue that I was gonna be the host and that it was my show. And the show's called Our View.
Our View.
Right? And I didn't know it, so here I am, sitting at the stage, and I was thinking, I'm sitting in the mirror, I'm like, so yes, I am the co-founder of this, and I'm giving it right. So now I had to jump from answering questions to asking questions, and it was amazing because the light went green and we're on, and it just took flight.
Wow.
And then.
And I can feel the energy and the excitement coming out of you, even telling telling the story of that first show, and the energy it's still exuberating. We're going to cut to a break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about that energy.
Okay.
All right, you guys, don't go anywhere. You're watching Boss Lady News.
Cost of family time activities getting you down?
Hello, I'm
Dr. Spruce. If you or someone you know needs a healthy dose of nature, visit discovertheforest.org to find out which park or forest is closest to your family.
Acorns are not real currency, but that's okay because parks or forests are either free or super affordable. It's a truly economical way for the whole family to enjoy each other's company and bond beyond the confines of concrete buildings and rush hour.
Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. We're here with Charles from Scat TV and host of Our View, host
Yes.
and co-producer.
Yeah, so I have the ability to like pick the guests and pick the topics, and it's all about Our View is all about a man's choice, a man's point of view. It's our view, but the segment that I'm on, it's all about a man's view because I am the co-founder of Fathers in Need.
Nice.
Right, which is Finn, which is a Boston local-based fathers resources network, and she thought it would be important to have that, so she said, "I'm going to give you a segment."
Absolutely, and it is important to have that. And just before we took a break, I was talking about energy and the fact that now you're mentioning this fathers group that you're bringing attention to. I think that the community needs that. They need to hear from the voice of men of color because society tells us that men of color don't have a voice. Ladies rule the world, we run the world, and I think we take that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate that.
Open arms, right?
We totally do, but we also raise the men. And more, I'm talking with this young man who's actually on house arrest, and he has a very interesting perspective on how, women don't realize that they mold the man into the man that he is. Not just the fathers. The fathers teach a man to be strong and powerful and be that man to provide and support. But the woman really molds the child into that man that he is.
That is true. And just big ups to my mom. She was in the hospital this week, and I was there the whole day just speaking of it. My world stopped. There was nothing that I was going to do but make sure I provided by working. But after work, I went to the hospital.
Check on your mom.
Yeah, and that's so true because I'm a mama's boy. Like you said, it's that father's strength. That for a guy, you need that strength. You need that positive strength. You need that positive person to look up to. You need
mentorship.
Exactly, and no matter what, without the father, there's a problem.
There is. I agree with that.
There is that problem.
Absolutely.
Because there's going to come a time, and I've had it, and I had it with my dad, and I was privileged to have it, where I became that teenager who thought I was the shizzle nizzles, right? And my dad was the person that said, "No, you're not."
Right.
And he told me not by words, but by his hand. Nice. But no, it wasn't nice when I took it, right? But
well, listen, we're from that generation.
Right?
I'm from that generation. All the kids around me know.
But it was there, and that's what helped me stay in my line.
Right.
Stay in my lane, not the line, but stay in my lane because his hand was like this, like, well, you better not, So, but it's important to have that figure that says, no, listen, you're here. And I'm here. And he actually
respect.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
He said, I love you to death, but I'll take you out. Right?
Now, we got to go. Okay. I have to move on to my next guest. However, I want people to be able to get in touch with you. How can they reach out to you?
Email is the best. It's opportunitiesawait00@gmail.com. I can throw all the numbers that I'm attributed to in all the emails, but if you do opportunitiesawait00@gmail.com, that's my stream live. But can I throw a quick plug?
Absolutely.
All right. October 3rd, 2020 is the 6th annual Hip Hop Evolution in Somerville. Scat TV, come on down.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You guys don't go anywhere. We're actually going to go ahead and have the first black female in Boston to own a radio station. Yes, you guys have been seeing it all over social media. Miss Hot Sauce from Spark FM will be here with us.
What up, yo? You got the wizard right here, chilling with the guard move. You know what I mean? We the cut, Wu-Tang management. DJ Coalition is something that's Wu-Tang Management's put together, bringing DJs from all across the world together under one banner. Right now we got about 20 to 40 DJs in the USA area, taking it international. So for our DJs out there that want to be part of a movement, you know what I mean, part of a movement, where we can keep true hip hop alive, keep the true sound of the streets alive, without having to be controlled by the, you know, by the big corporations and all that, you know what I mean? Come join the DJ Coalition, come join Wu-Tang Management, just keep shit rocking, yo. Hip hop's forever, Wu-Tang's forever. Resurrector, inside the sector, bum bum.
Thank you guys for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. I'm so excited to have this next young lady on. I was at a workshop with Michelle Bratwaite, and it was in reference to finance, and she said something very impactful that I want you guys, and especially the young people out there. It's amazing to be the first, and this young lady here is the first to own her own online radio station here from Boston, Miss Hot Sauce. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Please have a seat. I'm excited to have you on for a few reasons. First, you're a Johnson.
Yes. Hey, sister.
And I love Johnsons. But I've known you for a long time. And a lot of people here in Boston have seen you do your hosting. They see you on social media. But I don't think anybody was ready for this.
Neither was I.
To be the first Black female to own an online radio is just amazing. How did you, I mean, so for people that are not familiar with you, are you originally from the Boston area?
I'm born and raised in Boston, right in St. Margaret Center up on Jones Hill. It's no longer that. I work there now, so like it literally came back around. I was born there and now I work there.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And how did you kind of get yourself, or did you ever think that you'd be in the entertainment industry that you're in today?
So when I first went to college, I went to school for nursing. I wanted to be a nurse, I wanted to be a baby nurse, and I wanted to help the babies. I took some nursing classes and I failed them all.
That's honest.
Yeah.
Hey, it happens.
So then my guidance counselor was like, how about communications? I got into communications and my GPA rose to the top.
Right.
And it just seemed like a natural fit. So when I came back to Boston, when I moved back to Boston, because I went to school in Michigan.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. You said something that just, anything for young people constantly rings a bell in my ear, and I have to go back. Who encouraged you to switch?
My guidance counselor.
Your guidance counselor.
Yeah.
We don't have guidance counselors in the schools anymore.
Yeah.
But how impactful that was.
They are very impactful because these are professionals that kind of see things in you or kind of been in the industry for a while that they can kind of show you, like, maybe try this one. I see something in you, try this one.
And that
so that's
worked.
what happened and that worked.
Yeah.
I started working in radio about 10 years ago, so I pretty much have about a decade in the game now.
Wow.
And I really just wanted to be a nationally known syndicated radio host. And about 3 years ago, I started thinking like, wow, what would it be like if I owned a radio station? And from working in some of the smaller stations, I started to realize like these things are what I would do to change. This is how I would do to expand. And then maybe like around last year, I was like, let me just put a business plan together. Let me just see what I can do for programming. And then January 20th, we soft launched Spark Radio, Spark FM.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations.
Thank you.
Because just hearing, I got chills because most people are afraid to do that. Well, what if? What if I just take this step?
Yeah.
What if I just take that step?
Yeah.
What motivated you to do that?
Again, I wanted to be a nationally known radio host. And I've applied to all of the big brand radio stations. And everybody's like, if you want to make it, you've got to leave Boston because you're not going to get it here. They're not going to give you an opportunity. And I'm like, I'm not leaving Boston. I'm going to get an opportunity. I've had a couple of sit downs. I've applied. And I never heard back or the follow up was very shady,
Yeah.
and I never really got a chance to get in there. So it was kind of one of those situations. Well, if I'm not invited to the table, maybe I should just build my own table.
Absolutely.
And I know a lot of my friends and associates that have tried the same thing, and their goal is to get on mainstream radio, and they couldn't. So I extended that invitation to them, and we have a team of about 30 right now.
Wow.
That are ready to go April 20th.
Awesome. I am
Yes.
so excited. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
For just so I don't forget, because we're going to cut to a brief PSA in a second. Give them the information on the radio station.
So we are located right now at Spark FM Online. Right now we have a Kickstarter campaign going just so we can raise more capital in order to give our community the radio station that they deserve. Kind of like an ode to WILD. We lost that voice when they left us, and we got to
Absolutely.
bring that voice back in a professional and legal way.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I feel as if most people don't realize that we have to start making our own tables.
Absolutely.
We have to start building our own buildings. We have to start owning
Ownership.
our own stuff.
Yeah.
Because for too long, we've been expecting something from somebody else.
Yeah, and waiting
somebody
around.
else has been saying, well, why don't you do it yourself?
Yeah.
And so we got to start just, living up to the kings
Absolutely.
and queens that we are and royalty that we are and feeling as if we can provide something that we will allow everybody to be a part of.
Absolutely. It's so important for ownership, and that's one of the main messages that we have behind Spark FM is that we have to start owning, whether it's real estate, whether it is businesses, homes, whatever it is.
Right.
We have to start owning things, stocks, bonds, all of that stuff. If we don't, our net worth right now is pretty embarrassing, and that's because we're not taking advantage of the resources that we do have.
Absolutely.
And we're not going to the places that we're not invited to. If you don't get invited, invite yourself.
Right,
Just sit there at their table and say, hey, I'm here.
right.
I want a piece of it. Yeah.
In fact, I got my own pie.
Exactly.
We're going to cut to a brief break, and when we come back, Miss Hot Sauce is all over Boston.
Yeah.
And I want people to know about all of the different things that you do as well.
Okay.
Okay? All right, you guys, don't go anywhere. We're just going to take a brief break. Get your water, because next we're going to be having some fitness with OJ Fit. I keep telling you to get your water because you're going to need it. I'm going to need it. But we'll be right back with Miss Hot Sauce also. Hey guys, thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. We are here with Miss Hot Sauce, the first black female to own an online radio station. This is Spark FM's owner. Brief shout out to, once again, Kobe Bryant, because in terms of ownership, he actually owned a school.
Yes.
He owned a school, Mamba,
Yes.
and that was actually the girls' basketball team, a few of the members that had died in that tragic crash. So ownership is very important. You can create what an impact.
Yes.
Miss Hot Sauce.
Yes.
Not only are you an owner of this radio station, you also have a extensive resume of other entertainment things that you do.
Yeah, so I'm a pretty known host in Boston. I've hosted probably over 100 events at this point, just ranging from corporate events, weddings, nightclub events, fashion events. I've done a little bit of modeling, once or twice. I was like, that's not for me. It's really fun to kind of get out there, and I keep telling people, no matter how many events I do, I still almost feel like I'm gonna puke before everything. Even I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's my turn. But that kind of, nervousness kind of motivates me to keep on going. If you can get over, sitting down and speaking to one of your friends on their, TV show, then, you can get through anything.
Right.
I also manage a program called Girls Radio, and it's a mentorship for inner city girls ages 14 to 19. And in that program, we teach them like the basics of YouTubing, radio, blogging, journalism, and just kind of shaping them. And it's also a way for them to bond. We often hear that women don't know how to bond correctly and they don't know how to make friends and, they're catty. We teach them that, these women are going to be your allies, they're going to be your friends.
Yes.
And not everything is a kumbaya moment, but you should have the respect for your fellow woman.
Absolutely.
And you never know when they're going to, kick in and help you out. So thank you so much for this opportunity. This is amazing.
Oh, thank you for coming on. I appreciate
And
it.
I'm very proud of you too. This
Thank
is
you.
awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So for anyone who might be interested in having their young lady find out about the Girls Radio, how would they find out about that?
grlzradio.org. So that's girlsgrlzradio.org. And that is, you can find out all the information that you want. We also have like a little tiny program that we do for February and April vacation where we invite the younger girls in, 10 to 13. So they get a little intensified program in a week. We keep your kids from like 10 to 5. All day, and we kind of just show them the ropes of what the older girls learn, and they are the most dynamic group of little girls that we've ever had.
I believe it. I believe it. So I want to definitely have you on again.
Yes.
And we'd love to go out and maybe get you guys while you're doing some of your show stuff. One more time, tell people when it launches and they can hear it.
So Spark FM launches April 20th, 2020, so for 2020. Spark, get it?
Gotcha. Okay,
See what we did there? And you can find out more information on Spark FM online, and there you can find ways that you can donate and contribute to the cause. We're going to shake media up in a very, very big way. So we want people to kind of support and get their hands in, now while we build it, so that when it's here, we can be like, yeah, I helped you build that. So you were accountable for a lot of things that you said. So we want that accountability. We want to make sure that Black media is represented in a really great way here in Boston.
Thank you so much for coming on. You guys, don't go anywhere. We've got amazing show for you here on Boss Lady News, and we've got more to come, okay? Stay there. Hey guys, it's Britt Johnson with Boss Lady News. We're actually going to give you another opportunity to go and get your water, because we're going to have OJ Fit on, and he's going to do a 10-minute fitness with us. But right now, what we're going to do is actually speak with Miss Tania Anderson from Blood and Fashion. Hey!
Hi. How are you?
How are you?
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I'm like full disclosure with my guest. You were asking me something. What were you asking?
Oh, I was like, do I look cuter with my sweater off or on? I was trying to figure it out, but
You look cute, period.
okay. Thank you.
You always look beautiful.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
So do you.
And okay, so I gotta ask you. You're posting some of the photos where before with your hair and you're not wrapped and stuff. So like I've been wondering,
Britt,
I've
you're
been
full of
wanting
surprises.
to ask.
What are you doing?
I'm like, why is she posting them photos? Like, she look good.
So this is what happened, right? All the sisters are
Her
like,
head's not wrapped. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, let me mind my business. But let's ask you now.
Right? So this is what happened, right? What happened was, so you just go through different things. I'm a human being, and I was like, you know what? I'm a good girl. I was talking to my husband, and he was like, you know who you are, and you know who you serve, and it's not about necessarily the ritual, but it's certainly about doing what helps you to keep your inner spirit, like yourself, in check with your Lord. And it's about humility. The practice is to get you to a certain type of state of mind. And I was just like, I'm getting older, it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm out here, being crazy. So
let me be cute.
Let me be cute for like 2 minutes. And then I was like doing that, and then my head started getting cold.
So used to having the head wrapped, right?
Yeah, I was so used to you know what I mean? And then like the big hair, like I have very big hair, as you know. And everybody was like, I would say hello to people, and I'd be like, hi. And people I'd known for years, they'd be like,
is that you?
I was like,
yeah.
it's me. And then I put it back on. It was getting cold. Maybe I'll do it in the summer.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I want to, honestly appreciate, because I feel like enough people don't appreciate and understand the ritual of the head wrapping. And I think it's a beautiful thing because you're beautiful no matter what you're wearing because it shines through. And I think oftentimes people are miseducated because of the news and stereotypes, and they fall behind thinking that, oh, someone's head wrap means something different, as opposed to this is just how they choose to recognize themselves and serve whoever they consider to be their God, and still be a part of society, because like there's so much good that comes out of Muslim people, and they're everywhere, like literally everywhere.
So I thank you.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that people go, people are in a rush. People don't research, and people go with whatever they hear in the news, and especially if the majority is doing that, that's what they go with.
Now you're a Cape Verdean woman of color, Muslim woman, producer, designer, which is a mouthful and a lot.
I am, well, to speak to the other point that you were saying, I am an African woman, I'm Black, and of Cape Verdean nationality. And I think that we, like, for example, the way you just broke it down and the way I just broke it down, I think that it's important for us to really understand definitions. For example, people will be like, oh, that's called hijab, right? And you're like, well, it's a scarf, and hijab has more meaning. It's supposed to be a covering, a protection for you. And we consider modesty to be a protection. But so is being married if you stay true to it. You know what I mean? So there's different things. And for example, as you said, like who you serve or who you believe in. People say, well, you believe in Allah, right? And I'm like, well, that kind of means God. The word literally means one God, and the one God. And so I try to explain to them, like in Spanish, like how they say el Dios, el being, the. It's sort of like that. Allah together, hyphenated or together, it's Allah. So that's why it sounds like Allah, because it's literally two words. And and then so people say, you believe in Allah. It's like, yeah, that means God.
Yeah, I've tried to say to people, and I kind of describe things in simple terms for like little ones, right? Because I have 3 little ones, where blue is azul. It's just another language, and it means the same thing. But society chooses to have us break things up and almost give them separate definitions.
It's romanticized. It sounds so mystical. It's like, ooh. You know what I mean? Like
and
hijab.
Society.
And, even when you hear people say, assalamu alaikum, it's like, okay, you can say peace be unto you. I speak English.
Right.
And it's okay. Like, you can romanticize the thing or you can say it. But if you're trying to interpret the words in the Quran, surely you should do it as it is in the Quran. We should not, blasphemize or try to get our own interpretation. However, like you're just, speaking in America and you're Muslim and you're practicing, you should say peace be unto you. And it's okay to translate for those purposes to make sure that people are seeing you as being relatable, approachable.
Right.
And how else are the young people going to come to it if your behaviors are not approachable or relatable?
I'm enjoying my conversation with you, so I'm actually not going to take this brief break that I normally take.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to keep it going. And I wanted to, because people would not imagine that a Muslim woman would be such an amazing designer and so creative. Yes, you're amazing. What? She was like amazing. Yes. And so creative with producing the Blood and Fashion, which you produce and direct on stage. So how does that person actually come out of you when it goes into creation?
Well, I hope that I can speak for all Black women in the world to say that, we're women, we're dynamic. And so there's so much more to a person, and and this I hope resonates with all the women, all the human beings in the world, is that there's so many layers to you, and there's ways of expression. Sometimes the arts is a good medium, and sometimes otherwise. And I think that for me personally, coming out and designing or whatever, like I can bring out my inner, and sometimes I say my inner drag queen, you know, whatever. And it's the other way around. In fact, drag queen acculturate us, as Black women. So I think that it's just there, and if you create a platform and you are fearless, you truly don't allow the distractions in your daily life or the distractions of others. You don't compare, and you look within yourself and just purely, you know, act in the way that is going to be pleasing to you, and not compare yourself to what she's doing or what he's doing. What's going to happen if I design this? Is it like that person? I try not to do that. What I do is I look at the woman and I say, what is her sex appeal, and what story is she trying to tell me? And I say, I think that this will accentuate your beauty, and I think that this is what you're communicating to me. And I go with that, and I design for her.
Right.
I don't go into, oh, the trees and the rivers, they motivate me, and they, you know.
Right. So
and
I
they
only
don't.
have a couple more minutes.
Oh, my goodness.
But we've had you on before, so I'm like, okay. To my director, Ashley, you're awesome.
Oh, thank you.
So when you're talking about, when I speak about the Blood and Fashion show, I like to highlight the actual theatrical piece, because you also bring out mental health awareness in different forms on every single show. And I'm starting to find more passion in mental health awareness in our community, because it's driven in so many different ways. Like, we go crazy over everything, but we don't go crazy because only people of color seem to be able to maintain in a society that's not made for them.
I think that who better qualified to convert the world than the Black person, right? We've been through more, we've survived it all, and we're still here, and we're resilient, and we're brilliant. And I think that I try to use art as a platform, specifically for artists that wouldn't get opportunities otherwise, to be on stage in theater and be able to demonstrate or express their inner beauties or whatever. And in this way, I create different skits or acts. In this time, an original content. Here's my plug, right?
Go ahead, go for it.
An original
Don't forget
content.
the date.
It's a story. So March 28th at the Strand Theater. It's a story about a family who is impoverished and immigrated from Africa in the projects of Academy Homes. And this takes place in the 90s. And we're going to tell different stories about these neighborhood kids that came together and crossed over to the astral spiritual world. So a fantasy urban symphony.
I love it.
It's going to be fantastic, and you
love it.
want to be there because it's an all-inclusive, like, so dinner reception, and because it's Blood and Fashion, this is meant to be a double entendre. So you come in, you see the runway, and we express what the theme of through that, and there's this beautiful scenery, and we believe that Black people deserve the best. So red carpet,
Royalty.
the best food, the best treatment, plenty of media there. And after you enjoy the runway with avant-garde pieces, two designers, myself and Fozia Abdullah, and then you go into the theater and you're going to watch Sylvia, the Ghetto Symphony.
I'm
hope
already
so.
blown away. And I hope you guys make sure you're there. One more time, the date and location. And
Saturday, March 28th at the Strand Theater, 6 o'clock. Buy your tickets, Eventbrite, or you can go www.bloodandfashion.com. You can buy tickets there too. Reach out to me if you're a student, if you are low income. We consider the elderly plenty of discounts. But it's going to be amazing. You want to be a part of it and dress to impress.
Dress to impress. As we always do, we always dress to impress. Now, I'm going to get dressed for my fitness side because OJ Fit's going to come on out here and make me sweat. Hopefully not, but I'm ready for it. You guys don't go anywhere. I hope you have your water. We got OJ next on Boss Lady News. Thank you guys for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. This is BNN Comcast Channel 23. We've got our last guest for today. Cuban Mike's here to do this with me.
Oh, let's go, baby.
Bro.
Let's go.
All right, I want you guys to put your hands together for OJ Fitz.
Yeah. What's up, man?
Yes.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me on the show. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for coming. I was like, okay, I need somebody to do this with me. I was like, Cuban Mike. Okay, I was like, your name one more
yes.
time? Kim. Do this with me. Okay, I'll do it. So, okay. All right, OJ, this is your time.
All right, so today we're doing a type of workout today, workout
right
of the
there.
day. So today's workout is called an AMRAP. This is very beneficial for people who say they don't have a lot of time to spare, but it's something that's quick, not so easy, but it burns a lot of calories. So AMRAP stands for as many rounds as possible in a certain amount of time. So we're gonna be doing 4 exercises today, all right? 4 exercises today in 5 minutes, all right? Okay, so we're doing 5 push-ups, 10 bodyweight squats, 15 calf calf raises, and 20 jumping jacks. So we're gonna do all 4 exercises all together, no breaks, all right? So we're gonna be doing that in 5 minutes, and we're gonna see how many times we can do that, all right, in 5 minutes. So you guys ready?
No.
As ready as I could be.
All right, so we got the time going.
I've never worked with a trainer before. I'm just
Okay.
going to throw that disclaimer.
All right, so I'm gonna use that clock as a timer. So
Okay.
I'm actually gonna be facing this way just to keep track of time.
Perfect.
So you guys ready? So we're
Yes.
starting off with 5 push-ups, okay?
Okay.
Ready? And go. 2. Yep.
Can we get
4,
some music in here, guys?
5.
I need some energy.
All right, so now I'm doing bodyweight squats. Going for 10. 5. Make sure you squat as low as you can, comfortably, keeping your chest up, back straight as possible. Okay, 15 toe raises. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, 20 jumping jacks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Why did I forget how to
7,
do jumping jacks?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
Okay, there we go.
15, yeah, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, back into push-ups, okay?
Okay.
So we just finished 1 round. 1, 2,
Modified
3,
version.
4, yep, 5.
No, that's
There
me.
we go. All right, again, 10 bodyweight squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can see the intensity starting to creep up on you.
And the energy. Let's
Yeah,
go. Let's go.
15 toe raises. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So this
5,
is good for
6,
people that say, I don't
7,
have even 10 minutes
8,
to exercise.
9.
They can do this.
Right. It can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes, you know, whatever time you got to spare, you know, you choose how hard you want to go, okay? It's almost like a version of HIIT. You go all out for the time that you have, and you just push yourself.
Gotcha.
All right? All right, 20 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3,
Lord, why am I
4,
jumping jacks always backwards?
5, 6, 7, 8,
Okay.
9,
I'm still doing it.
10. You feeling the burn yet? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, we have a few more minutes. Just finished the second round, so
Okay.
another set of push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you're keeping your count. 10 bodyweight squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Legs start burning yet?
Yes.
All right, 15 toe raises. 1, 2, 3,
So I
4,
just want to
5,
give this little
6,
shout out
7,
to Thumbprint
8,
Realty
9,
because Alex wanted to give me this little
12,
competition
13,
and I didn't have a
14,
trainer.
15.
And I only got until February 14th to get this done.
Okay, 20 jumping jacks. I hear you. 1, let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, that's it. Good job, everybody. High five. Way to go.
We're going to take a brief break. I need a brief break. Then OJ is going to bring us back on a work down, right?
Yep, so I'm going
Okay.
to discuss the importance of muscle recovery techniques.
Okay.
All right?
All right, y'all.
All right.
Get your water. I'm going to get some water. We're going to take a brief 30-second. I don't want y'all to see me drop. Okay?
See, it was only 5 minutes. You see how you feel?
Right?
Good job.
All right, I hope you guys got your water. And again, this is amazing because most of us, including myself, I'm always trying to etch out like 5-10 minutes to exercise, and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So this is the other portion of what you were going to show us. Tell us about it.
Right, so this is a foam roller. I know some people see this when they go to a gym, visit a gym, and they see these off to the side. So I'm going to be discussing the importance of muscle recovery, just so that when people work out, you know, they're not just always feeling tight, you know, all the time when they work out, just because of overuse of their muscles when they work out day in and day out. It's not just important for workouts, you know, when you're recovering from that, but it's also just important all the time. It should be done like every day, because sometimes depending on, you know, your lifestyle, you might be sitting down for too long, your muscles get tight that way, whatever job.
People in offices that are
Right,
seated
your
all
back,
the time.
your legs, you know, things of that sort. So I'm just going to demonstrate a few foam rolling techniques, followed up with some stretching.
Okay.
Because stretching is very
We
important
got
as
a
well.
good 3 minutes to do this?
Yeah. So I'll
All
do
right.
some quick demonstrations and I'll just have you follow along.
Okay.
All right. So foam rolling. The specific term is called SMR, self-myofascial release.
Okay.
Basically, to simplify that, it's like massaging yourself. All right. So we're gonna start with your quads, a big muscle group, okay? Because we're forward-walking creatures. So we usually overuse our quads a lot. So to demonstrate, I'm gonna be foam rolling below my hips where the muscle begins, and then to the top of my knee. We never want to foam roll on the bone. All right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use my forearms to help move me and guide me. All right? Never fast, okay? Never fast, because what you're gonna do is excite the muscle, and we just wanna kind of tell, we're trying to send a signal from our muscle to our brain that we're trying to relax it, all right?
Okay.
So I'm just gonna have you do that. Again, make sure you keep your core tight, your body straight, and you're just gonna start
it's
from
from
below
here
your,
to
below
here.
your hip to above your knee.
Okay. So where do I start?
You wanna start at the top of your hip.
Okay.
Well, below your hip, but yeah.
There?
Yep, right there. And you're gonna use your forearms to pull you forward and back.
So when you guys don't have somebody at home to help massage you, this actually
Exactly.
does that.
Yep.
Oh, I really feel it.
You feel that, right?
Yeah.
So if you feel slight pain, that just means that's a muscle knot, okay? And what you're trying to do is get that knot out by massaging it, by rolling it out. All right, so that's what the technique is for.
That feels really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so then we're gonna do our upper back. I like to tell people never foam roll their lower back, just because it's a bigger piece right here. So you never really want to put pressure on your lower back, especially if you have lower back issues. So I like to do mid back to the top of your shoulders, okay?
Okay.
To get most of your lat muscles, which is your back muscle. All right. So you're gonna hype your butt up right here, and you're gonna use your legs to roll you back and forth.
Gotcha.
All right. So again, if you feel a little bit of pain, okay, that just means you have a few knots in your back, all right? Especially if you're at a desk, you're hunching over for long periods of time, then you can develop, you know, muscle tightness in your upper back, all right? So just mid back to upper back.
Okay.
Okay?
Mid back to upper back.
Correct.
How do I know where my mid back is? Okay. So like from the shoulder blades,
Right.
and then I'm moving forward, like towards
So,
my feet.
Yep, towards your feet. There we go. Keeping your core tight because that's what helps you stay straight.
Okay.
There we go. Yep. Just nice and easy.
Oh, that feels good too.
Feels good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like better than those like you stand up against the wall thing.
Oh, I know exactly
And
what
try
you're
to
talking about.
massage it
Yeah,
out?
nope. So you're helping, like gravity is helping you put the pressure on your muscles as you're rolling it out,
Right.
right?
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah. So you can use these techniques, again, every day. You don't have to be a fitness fanatic and work out every day to just make sure that you take care of your muscles, especially because of, you know, the different lifestyles that people live. You can be prone to muscle tightness. So yeah, muscle recovery is key. And then what I like to do is follow up with simple stretches, like I'm gonna stand up because we just massage, we try to get out the knots in our
this on the show?
quads. So, you know, I like to do simple stretches like,
Like old school.
yeah,
I remember when we used to have gym in class. Oh, we got 1 minute
yeah,
left.
and then,
When we used to have gym in class, they'd have us do these kinds of
yeah,
exercises.
yeah, you need to, you gotta stay loose, you know?
Yeah.
You wanna stay injury prone. I mean, you wanna stay away from getting
Injury.
injured. Yeah, yeah, so.
So how can people get in touch with you? They want to find out more. They want to get in on one of your classes. They want to train with you. How do they get in touch with you? Right over there.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at ojfit_. You can also, well, big announcement, I'm also launching my website this month at www.ojfit.com. So that's how you can
That's
find me.
awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me, Boss Lady News. You know you can catch me every Friday at 6 p.m. And if you've got any topics that you want us to cover, if you've got some words or some topics or trending topics for Cuban Mike, make sure you email me, bossladynews@gmail.com. And please feel free to reach out to any of my guests, or if you don't remember how to get in touch with them, reach out to me. I'll get you in touch with them. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day. That was awesome.